다들이 단 죽도 겨워. 아니 그중에 다 나고 가르쳐 가야 나서 이 쇼고다 전생에 소근들이 내 년배서 당야래. 전에 소근들이 검다든 저다는 게 뭐는 몸주 사야래. 전에다 자연의 전생에 소근들이 지나 제샤나 상천주. 엔 저거지 뒤뒤제 누이 되고래. 아니 비유처가 나려야 semgi yore inda titos ger danche en changdong song ya chi nam ju dung ge san di chi zang ne to semgi choga s nam ju sha de ya ti changdong song ya chi en ding ya ya pe chi ge ni zhu ya ti ya jiang zu qi bo feng mo ge ni zhu de yang zu ya 상주 개념에 맞춰 영조 개념 사디 주투네 야오야리 도시 다 대공을 아니야 대 람즈 쉐롱 두두지 다需要去不是
别说这么多别想多你们都有三主要道的讲义吧今天是
So today we're going to do the auspicious concluding, the conclusion of the teaching, and I thought what kind of initiation, tantric initiation I should do, and then I decided that it would be good to do the permission initiation of Avalokiteshvara, who liberates beings from the lower realms. And so, with regard to this Avalokiteshvara practice, I have actually done its proper retreat and recited the mantra 600,000 times and so forth, and then therefore I thought of doing the permission initiation of it, and it's the ritual is not so long, and together with it we'll also do the bodhisattva vows. So you'll be taking bodhisattva vows, and preceding the bodhisattva vows we'll do the ceremony for layperson's vows. And so here we'll do not the celibacy vows or precepts for the lay people, but the lay people's vows whereby you take all the 5 precepts. And so before that we'll do the 3 principal aspects of the path.
다 가서 그냥 가서 이마 그래서 이마 숨 쉬마 돼. 이마 숨这能是我这寂寞之路都学习这他这里的 남지 저 나버 숨시니 그래서 뭐 쉬신 버려한다 네 공부를 주기 아니 오머지 전화라 아니 오머도 주야다 내리 주야시니 이 순구도가 전에다 디 공전이 아니 오머시 집에 나려야 선언을 못 하고도 발도 다는 더 벌시셔서 아니 어디서네 로진기 장단티 다 송셔 다 금들 엔드네네 배나렌데다 개별 공부지 다 간다루루 옆세다 송디는 신식이다 냠시 단난 거야리 엔더 배 강정이 정리야 다 다시 들어줘 주시부터 아니 벌겁직 별로 사지가 다 쉬우지 냠버리 산 할람데 유클리아 조중 몸이 참 할람 통야메 버세제 로 주주고 때버리 얘네 신이 야다지 얘네 덩어리야 얘네 머리 쳐게 토구로 셰제 다들 벌시우차 취주자다 얘네 조지 되시나 다 도스제네 조직이 아니 tulin libiyo, delia, any, a lamdren zevere. Cheta lamdren, any, Mosarkane, drum de Bessoyati, Mosarkane, Dennis Sumbuti, Tabakibu Sungin Zevay, Kadam Rinja Seti Chandi, Rockanga, 20 euros Shani. Sondoa. Sajijundin Degi, any Denisum Sonyaris, the Mosarkanis, Radachi, Tabachigo Kista, Kazakin Kishon, Shiri, Tabachigo Kishameba. One Chane, Tar. Ribe Druji Manko, Tar Myola Tukche, da Sonshash Dua, Mandrachroda, Satinji Indu, Dinreda, Denusunguta, Jeja, to Nimbu Dusha, Givusung, Lamrumutu, Duni, or Sonsha, Race and Sonre. So Dandi and Germuchi in Lamzu de Lamjito Nabasums. 람지도 나버숨 가레스람나 민주 장선 양당의 다와 어디 송어리 제니 더 젊지 아니 그게 애니 가서 공부다 고도 젊으실 때 잠배한 게 시스템을 연구하고 말이 아니 라마 우모가 사셔리 감네 Lama umobo bogdoji. And Kong Mungi Paksha Seni, Kong Chik Zunanje, Chuzi to Shukodu, Nimachi, and Jisun Jambaya, Kundo Nabochi, and Kong Chik Talame Sin, Dene Sundi, Jisun Jambaya, and Dabu Pugishisi, any Chikaman Hadende, Yunguyari. And Jermujeta may. 도메네야 유상나페 러블롬이 까치구나 그다음 아니 제다 대지 아니 유클리에 대베다 간다지 샤트라 지 선부다 라소바 지 간다지 저 참으로리야 아니 자고르나 되네 이니 급지 그게 가동무게 디저를 내절때 잠시 또 군송수 도저 수를 거둘래 진짜 배하셨어요리 그다음 되는 송데 이니 진짜 배야 잠시 지금 남들 셔서야 지다 저도 니저도가 셔스니 아니 여메코도라 지금 sabje가 남지를 붙여서 하고 동니가 따여 걸이야 아니 잠배한다 아니 근슈니 아니 잠배한게 데 님부지만 손 근데 고금이 누스네 쉬브리야 점치 고금이 누스잖아요 잠배한게 다 계시고는 뺏었어 잠배한게 제지드마 지지름시 도가를 뭐 주제 동네 도야 총면도 봐 뺏었어 송샤 이제 사사 집중시스 도스전에 아니 지수 다도 어디를 루지야래 아니 공급에 사제 공부지 셰스니 용백도리야 아니 저런 렌즈 여기 지수가 최바로 도스 아니 최바 총을 자체 아니 최바 잔에서 셔센스 다 디세우시도 봐 소소미 비투문이 렌즈 여기 계신 부처야래 봐 심의 사지 먹고 셰스니 여기 디디가서 제로 나선 저기요 봐 와서 뛰는 지체니 지금지 잠배야가 있는 베스트스 되네 있는 배전내서 성부이나 가동이나 대화리야 지금지 빛이 쉬우시는 게 야래 빛이 나베 거돌이야 아니 저 잠배야가 저도 소소 집중 처벌이스 제니 차례를 테스 그다 엔티드 로마 제비절로 먹고 지금 어디다 내 안다 왜 지금 그 천년 안에 벤제티 담배 샴디 벨로스 주는 게 요래 아니 다 근데네 다 디바 샤체는 차를 타나 아니 담배 개척다스 담배를 발표 주시스 제대로 쉬는 춤을. 지지 잡아야 되시잖아요. 네? temple pema be shingris 지지자베 그래서 가다 사절 펴니 엔타 공부하는마도 엔 야용 말을 신들 소리 도스체니 다 점지 사절 펴 로가 사절 펴 에네 다 그게 에네 요거 주로 되네 에네 요거 하딩 사절이 인데 엔 점지 동일 사장야 나 엔디탈리아 다 에니 슝드수시 니무지 에니 찬란리아 게설루루 yap서 정원아 성된 중담이 좋아한세 대나는 반대 산재장 야비신로 파괴 공부총 반달라면서로 소환되었어 점식 상에 남다 에니 한다 진짜로 차대네 그것이 반대인데 아니 제시가 산다 나들시도 와 어디 들으셔 아니 계속으로 yap서 성공아 법으로 yap서 성공아 되지 다티나 성공아 전에 랭전 장내제도 야 그수나 로자이나 가지고 장내제도 떠서면 다시도 그러다 가이네면에 뒤나네 로는 산재장 이지 가서 인베 나오로 샤딩의 지기 아니 벤지트 지기 부터버리다 점점 울도스마 샤베 되는 사람 shum리 다 사람이 있는다 시시 있는다 되는 shum리 엔 디니문디 부터버리는 남기는 시기 알라 디니문디 부터버리다 미지 표리나 직전에 믹스션 시브리 에니 다르자와 탁 침뱉기 다 대니 부터벌리데 랍지 쪽자위나 어지 감상해야 되는 숨에 저래 걔도 풍부 다 이렇게 되지 못한다 걔도 풍부 남리시 풍부선이 매우 요새 시디크도데 시디 제반 그도데 점식이네 오면다 그래서 탑투고 되는 토를 좀 아니 담아거지 전에 야베 믹스에게 배 타버 좀네 아니 레신이 뭐 던지도 잡아리 그다 다 던지도 죽지 지도 누워서 샤도와 전시승의 레슨고 취지제서 로바로 그거 좀 정도 니그 잡아倒치로 취지단에 치셔고 유리내와 댄치지 취지교는 매워시 따도 댄치로 에마오 캐레디니 차버 콘도 취주고 대제 깡 콘는 교로 지실 근민교 던도 주의 예
你会背缘起赞吗？你会念吗？
这就是아니 다 간단히 디샴도 저래 패고 타다 저보다 따오긴도 또봐도 기규더니 대신에 롱데 코 쪼아 패르스 디치도 최근에 나라고도 셴데서 서 아니 전에 되게 백까지 시간 자샤스 아니 제대 이내 준는데 까탈이야 아니 왜 개별 공부들 아니 루루보다 루루 yap세게 배숑도 되니 아니 그 가서 그렇게 오메 상 오메 따와리야 투나나게 몽구치기야 공부되다 매매라 연구도 대세상신 대화에 슈마 따라 잡아나 치치태선 잡아야 다게 있는 것도 동미시 내가 주도 사반도 새벽에 저러더니 내가 인도 두서 셔서 늘 대단매도 셔서 따진 집에서 이거는 너무 무슨 순서는 하나 개발하는 따지는 가다 상대 아니 루루송루 군대세 재미캠페 긴거게 소로 칼로 도민 탄진인도 뭐스 반단다를 쉐기 여거를 찬산자 라메치지 통해서 딱이 이게서도 전 어디 송샤들이셔 전에 어디 점심 아니 오메다 타토 다가도 오메다 타토를 전에 간다 댄진 저버중이 뭐 규제를 제디 오니 주로 동아스 송샤다데 어다 예버지 토인도 전에 아니 탄이세야기 탄이세요 우메라를 아니 로로 대고 전에 샤트야지 그래서 나온다 동거니보데 탕겐기 탕탕에게 까봐야지도 쓰네 까봐야지도 쓰 루르 탕겐 뜻이 아니 나 대지밀로 샤가들 전에 동거 캐빈도 저어디 야오치로 샤모토바 동바디 샤가들 전에 타니에 남샤 야온 좀 미시바 되게 저기야레스 나간다 땡중 아니 동배터도 샤대야지 계시들 레인잖아 아니 타니 간다 그베 가서래 타니 세야 누가 되게 여덟 지금 어두서 송을 자 나 제년다 젊으시기 아니 디슈고 가다기는 젊으시기 아니 람정이단 저와 아니 름름 처모 양한테는 또수 뒤심을지기 름름 처모 아니 단 름름 정부유세리 나한테는 름름 뒤준디 름름 처모체 저부지기 름름 진짜 총수 자야리 나한테는 오면 다가 걸어 젊으시기 아니 리신이부 자야리 정의 리신이부 아니 섬섬배 더루티든 거대서 아니 우모배 더루티디 쇼대서 아니 우모발레 로벨 랭댕이 쉐바다 시워즈 쉐바다 디드마 손은 주도 태교에는 룩 태교에 받은 다와 잡에다 퉁미 비실을 거다마 손제 다 할래르도 아니 대저처지 디슈부데 자식적인 세월이 다 할래르 아니 디 아니 줄리아 아니 디자샤 간다디 디 주인데 고모랍세 고모랍세 이제 아니 르는 중디다 디슈도 안 자샤 슈슈고 자샤리 나가다 더 지금 정글로 정거 신부스네 맞아도 믹스면 된대야디 아니 뭐야다 간식 개별 중에 정거 신스거리 개별 중에 있는데 지금 부딪혔겠지 좀 거는 야오 싶더기나 때문에 전에 맨차치도 와 그러다 책만 붙였네 책이 시야양 전에 저거 전부도 여말때 단단히 무수 되니 이게 아니 shum망고 kum tikima 대용의 지 되면 라스도 근데 어저 된저기다 된저지기다 된저지를 아니 제르무치 다 로메 제 아니 사고 운동왕 차고 살지 공 아니 제르무치 뭐럽체 누수이다 캐랑게 때마다 줘야 되는 시스템이 아니 페샤 경우론이야 지는 야구용화스 간난제 아니 경우론 개론을 봐만 배우지 아니 뭐게 공기 사지를 때마치다 지라 있는 장고라면 때마 야 아니 그게 시주 니스탄에 가다 때문에 샴들도 좀 쉬베 커돌이야 아니 다들 모르잖니 야마로다 다른 거 살았다 아니 샤 경우론에 튀기 남네 점수를 꾸미시니 아니 담아진 나라나 sen 쉬어리 아니 젊치기 람조도 제거리 아니 사고로 뭔가 잡아 샤르게 무로네 아니 규체 아니 대체도 잠바 인생이 람조도 제샤 나 아니 젊치 숨토르 나리야 지티지하리 사고 뭔가 잡아로 뭐 체지나셔지 아니 결혼 아니 젊지정이 넘어서 상집에 내가 올라 거기 토모를 지수가 있을 때 정도가 충분히 줘야 돼 그러죠. 어두스리 전에마다 람조를 주든 지 일단 내중 장성 양다마다 하서 못 해야 거예요.
今天
So, with regards to the story of writing the three principal aspects of the path, of course, for the last 3 days we have had the discourse on the Madhyamaka Avatara, and which is which served like the general introduction to the teaching of the Buddha. And with regard to the three principal aspects of the path, what it covers is, as Nagarjuna says in his Ratnavali, the higher rebirth and the factors for that we could cultivate for higher rebirth and definite goodness. And then when it comes to practicing doing the practices leading to these, we have Aryadeva's 400 verses saying, first cultivate the and get rid of those of the non-meritorious actions. In the middle, the notion, get rid of the notion of the self, and then in the end, eliminate all the distorted views. Such a person who is able to do these is a wise one. And so in this way, we have a sequential practice of the path leading to enlightenment. And then in Nalanda tradition, in Nalanda monastic institution, most of the great masters followed the system of Master Nagarjuna and his disciples and so forth. And then in Tibet, after Buddhism spread there, and since the 7th century, and especially to the 8th century, then there was a time period when Buddhism really declined so much so that for about 60 years there were no, even not no monastics in the central part of Tibet. And then later in the east and western part of the Tibet, what happened was some descendants of the Tibetan emperors invited Master Adisha, and so from Master Adisha, who was invited to Tibet, and he wrote the Lamp for the Path to Enlightenment and so forth. And then from him, the Kadam tradition of Buddhism in Tibet started. And the Kadam tradition is a tradition which actually the tradition which puts into the practice that the whole teaching of the Buddha, this wondrous teaching of the Buddha, which are contained in the 3 baskets, into the path for the 3 types of beings. And so if you look at the teaching of the Buddha itself, the Buddha's teaching is wonderful in the sense that because of its being based on reason and not just faith alone. And so Jerome Buche summarized the teaching, the whole teaching of the Buddha, and that has come down to him. And the Kadam tradition and so forth, into the 3 principal aspects of the path, which are the sense of renunciation, or the wish to be free from determination to be free from samsara, and then the altruistic spirit of enlightenment, and then the correct view of emptiness. And so in the beginning of the Master Tsongkhapa's life, of course Master Tsongkhapa was born in the Lama, or the Amdo part, the northeastern part of Tibet in the beginning, and then he moved from there to the eastern Tibet, to the central Tibet, sorry. And so he studied in the Sangbu monastery and so forth. And in the beginning, he didn't have any vision of Master Manjushri, his personal meditation deity, but he was actually asking questions to Manjushri through his master Lama Umapa. But then one day, Master Tsongkhapa had a vision of Manjushri, the dark complexion of Manjushri, and since then it is said that he had a continuous vision of Master Manjushri whenever he liked. And so Master Tsongkhapa had a vision in Gadong area of Tibet, and then whenever he wanted to see Manjushri, he would have the vision. And so in one of the one vision, Manjushri gave a very succinct teaching on emptiness, and Tsongkhapa said, "I can't understand it. I can't comprehend what you have said." And then Manjushri said, "Study more." And here you can see what Manjushri has told Tsongkhapa. He didn't say when he didn't kind of grant his blessing through his the wisdom sword as such, but he said, "Study." And so this is similar to what the Bodhisattva Pararudita had. From receiving teaching from Dharmutra, his guru. And so there must be some kind of a special karmic link between the teacher and the disciples in order for the teachings to work in the disciples. And so Rinpoche was told by Manjushri to study, and therefore he did study. And then Rinpoche became a teacher to other monks in the monastery of Tsangpo, and therefore when Manjushri one day told him that he should go to hermitage, live as a hermit, and do practices of purification and accumulation of merit, and then there were people who actually who said that if you leave all these disciples, it would be like an obstacle to the dharma, and this was related to Manjushri, and Manjushri said, "I know whether what would be beneficial to others or not." And so Tsongkhapa finally, at the instruction of Manjushri, left for hermitage and to live in solitude in Ulgachuling, and then he did his practice of purification and accumulation of merit, and then one day he dreamt of Nagarjuna surrounded by 5 disciples. And with regard to the 5 disciples, it said that some say it's one of them was Bhaviveka, others say it was Nagabodhi, but whatever the case, in that dream what he saw was, whether it's a dream or a vision, what Tsongkhapa saw was Buddha Palita holding a text, Buddha Palita text, and touching it on his head. And then the next day, when Tsongkhapa was actually said to have been offered a text of Buddha Palita commentary on Buddha Madhyamaka Karika, and by receiving that text, when he received that text and read it, and when he came to that point of the commentary where it was commenting on this verse from Buddha Madhyamaka Karika, where it says, if the aggregates were the self, and so forth. And so at that point, reading that commentary on the verse from Madhyamaka Karika, he was said to have realized emptiness. And then he wrote the praise to the Buddha for teaching dependent origination. And so in that prayer, Tsongkhapa says, "Alas, your teaching is such in whose service ere it falls, they all attain peace. So who would not be honored to uphold your teaching? It overcomes all opposing challenges. It's free from contradictions between early and later paths. It grants fulfillment of beings' 2 aims. For this system, my joy increases evermore. For its sake, you have given away again and again, over countless eons, sometimes your body, others your life, as well as your loving kin and resources and so forth. Seeing the qualities of the teaching pulls hard from my heart, just like what a hook does to a fish. Sad it is to have not heard it from you personally," and so forth. And then particularly Master Tsongkhapa says, the night lily grove of Nagarjuna's treatises, Nagarjuna, whom you prophesied, who would unravel your unexalted vehicle as it is, shunning extremes of existence and non-existence, illuminated by the garland of white lights of Chandras, Chandrakirti, well-uttered insights, Chandra, whose standest wisdom orb is full, who glides freely across scripture's space, who dispels the darkness of the extreme hearts, and outshines the constellations of false speakers, when through my teacher's kindness I saw this, my mind found at rest at last. and so forth. And so what this shows is that Tsongkhapa actually realized that emptiness through the reasoning of dependent origination, and dependent origination is seen as the reasoning which actually dispels both the extremes, does away with both the extremes of nihilism and permanence. And so by seeing what the appearances, which means the conventionalities of things, one affirms that of emptiness, and by realizing emptiness, one affirms that of the conventional reality as well. And so Tsongkhapa wrote the different texts, like the Lamrim Chemo, the great treatise on the middle way, and then middling stages of the middle way, and then the short text, which is the Song of Experience. And with regard to Madhyamaka text, he wrote that the essence of true eloquence, and which goes through the Chittamatra philosophy, as well as Madhyamaka philosophies of Savatantrika and Prasangika Madhyamakas. And then he also wrote the commentary on Mula Madhyamaka Karika, which is the ocean of reasoning. And then he also wrote the illumination of thought, which is the commentary of Madhyamaka Avatara, and then later he wrote this short Lamrim as well. And so Tsongkhapa it is known in his prayer that he is the crown jewel of the snow land. And if you read his books, you'll know his greatness through them. And so he wrote these three principles of path as a letter in response to Tsago Ombongawan Thakpa, whom he sent to the eastern part of Tibet to disseminate the teaching.
Lama 가지고 숨기시잖니 기도 로트는 지요 말이스 사령계 송요리 저들이 이르잖아요 간다 딱셔셔리스 지금 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 누가 좀 사르셔 신유对人 对왜 아니 강사대 토마랑게 규对我고리스 정규 모두 신유 对 내베스 토마랑게 규对我고리스 랑게 규对루대야 아니 강성중 그 주버체네스 님범들 땅 지체니 모티고 예배서로 지금 샵템들 주는 집 한부 예배서로 근데 그래서 말이스 강성중 그 주버체네 또바 연대도 민다버려 예배 미편지스 개회도 뭐 찌듯도 규투로시 고요소스 아니 개회도 뭐 찌듯도 규투로사디 아니 러버송 냠레나니 규토시 고리스 근데 인도니 도디징 롱도 창네 신인 투어시오 녀시오 제 어디 디스부티게 러버송 시기요리 냐나 신인 투어스 전에 수중을 넣어 시워스네 띵지를 넣어 녀를 시워스네 시르을 넣어 다 다티 라마정이 규투어치 러버송 그냥 내가 전에 규투어시 아니 장규 투어 상게 용기야 말이 룽기 추버스 투어시워 녀시워 가시 투어시죠 가자 연대하고 전제 룽기 추스 로만리 연대하고지 당연히 랍데기 개인이 다가로다 대니 저도 돌아 마켓인데 제等你 교방바 드리지기 추주된지 단디한다 도디쟁이 치르지 도디쟁이 선선데 다 슝차되기요리 드리민도 전에 로송문으로 가서 담에자 안다 대니 저도 돌아서야 돼 최이담에 자체 독수도가 저 간다 신인 생인상을 거야 돼 뺏게 좀 보지 저서 아니 신이 라마 때문에 되었다 그냥 신이 그 천이 근데 고기부터 시작체체 아니 천인상을 시대 버리지 저서 또 로마 템플 등에 지금에 있네. 그냥 소소정리를 뒤에 창지 제제 로마 리아 펜도샤지 용그리스 대 있는 정도 되기 도나바 시선 신윤도야라 도나바 시선도와 진바 냐마 전제바 개요 공부도 좀 시키다 람데 전투머스네 밀샤야디 소소의 냠는chen 들으시고리스 저서다 다 지디기 제준 라마스약 식수부터기 제슬르드 쳔디낭 아니 가서다 쳔디낭 샤와를 다네 쳔디 또 담숨 던던이 등에 진짜기 되는 모임바 다가다베 남샤 땡지 두고두야로 조 공부신이 진짜네 아니 쳔디 되니기 겨우 패버즈 담면자지기 저도 부차레스 제 준세야디 아니 동행이 동행도 마세베 규에 동행 시베 편조 뒤에들래 그게 제 견도 통네 타르도나 두지기 동행 그 시니 가다가다 코아타다 동행을 시도 통네 곡된 것도 찬도 여대 봐 된지지 딱 그거래 되는데 인데 가자 준수잖아요 시베 편조를 이 그게 머니 저대야 텔레베 이 용수 되니 그래서 타바 되니 걸로 좀 많이 보여 되는 지인도 준비했는데 제 준수 라마스야데 타베신치를 저주선 但定文的전에 애는 도대체가 나와 태고 친구 체외 연대 소용도 들어봤다 상바다쳐와 저바다쳐와 된듯이 소용도와 어딘지 인도잖아요 배 채워도 하고 인도잖아요 전주선도 대배전에 라마스 어디 지금 대대배다 천인산 라마 선제를 라마노를 차차로 송시
一开始念到了敬礼至尊诸上师，那在菩提道次第广论的时候，一开始也说到了道次根本以及如何一直是。
With regards to the three principal aspects of the path, Master Tsongkhapa, in his great treatise of the treatise on the path, or the stages of the path to enlightenment, mentions the criteria for the criteria of a person who wishes to be a teacher, and then the criteria for those of the disciples. So he goes through the structure called outlines, such as how to rely on a spiritual master and how to train one's mind after having relied on that master. And with regards to the reliance, he also mentions that there are the criteria for the disciple, for the master whom you wish to rely on, and then criteria of the disciples who relies on such a teacher, and how that disciple relies on the guru or the master. And here. What is important to understand is that when you hear that somebody is some great being or something, I mean, you should not just jump and to the conclusion that you would take that person as your spiritual master as such, but you should, as if a dog meeting with coming across a piece of meat, but you should actually check the person well. And therefore, someone who wishes to become a teacher for others means that he or she wants to actually, help the other persons to discipline their mind and tame their mind. And so, with regard to the teacher, Master Tsongkhapa says that those who wish to tame others first should tame themselves. And the way to tame oneself is to practice in accordance with the general teaching of the Buddha, in accordance with the teaching of the Buddha in the broad sense. And with regard to the That what it means is to be able to practice the three trainings: the training of morality, training of concentration, and training of wisdom. And regarding the criteria of a guru, there are 10 criteria mentioned in Mahayana Sutra Alamkara. And so where it says that teacher should be someone who is called disciplined, pacified, and thoroughly pacified. So these three refer to the three trainings of morality, concentration, and that of the wisdom. And here the wisdom here refers since the text belongs to Chittamatra philosophical school. Therefore, here this wisdom refers to that of the self-analysis of persons. And then on top of being disciplined and so forth, the person must also be more knowledgeable than the disciples to whom they wish to tame. And then they should also understand the suchness, which refers to that of the self-analysis of phenomena. And then the person should also be called elegant in his speech and so forth, and then compassionate and so forth. And so when you wish to rely on somebody as your Lama, you should actually first check whether the person has these qualities or not. And then when you see that the person has the quality, then you should rely on him or her. And then with regard to the practice, of course, there should be the practice of the four ways of attracting or gathering the disciples, in which one of them is that of doing the practice in accordance with the teaching of the Buddha. And then when you wish to actually teach others, you should also be able to integrate the teaching within yourself first.
개수로 그 연구 전선이 인중체 더 좀 탐지돼 좀 탐지 간다 람수도 시도가 개수로 그 연구 전선 좀된 얘기 다 가져가는 시리 대시 정보 속내 그것도 주주도 타로 송도가 저기 인주전에 개수로 그 연구 전선 인중체 개사 잡아도 인가고 람도 상주 심체 견데 탐도는 중고서의 양도가 나왔지 다 제수부터 진짜 누신 세대 다 패신 메들지 고도 식뉴뉴지 나라 근데 진짜 누신도 시인 사치 양지미 킹중 쓰레 자도 적으로 봐
第一句一切佛语心要义的这第一句呢指的是著作前的一个承诺
So
佛语心要义在这一句话指的是出离心
regarding the text where it says, I will explain as well as I am able, is an expression of humility. But it also could mean that the Master Tsongkhapa is giving this teaching in a very brief manner. And then the essence of all teachings of the conqueror refers to that of renunciation. The third line refers to the path praised by conquerors refers to the bodhichitta practice, and then the entrance to the fortunate who desire liberation refers to correct view.
심지어 그 태어나 공니 뭐가지고 전초도 심기 아니 뭐가지고 상제 비슷하래 다 드는들 사실 좀 된데 상제 남기 아니 저를 직도 한번 가르치려나 아니 전주 심시다 되더라셔 진주는 사들이 개발도만 더如果좀 통하는 이 한번 식스는 다가나 진주 심기 판유 리우디를 마도 스타나 시야래 다 대저 전자가 간다 장주고 쓰게 편이다 상기 미셔 정도가 진짜 인데 네 대저선 사실 좀이 자와 제베 남슬도 아니 돈이 다 숨겨야래 다디에 산지 코랑 투모이 버도가 스시 저저에서 되면 쳤으네 그래서 쉬었더니 真正的那个我们做商业嘛，他的呀，首先这是都是送小的，第一芒果里呀，全国人不送呀，团他的车上送下3000个，首先是对可罗长不团的，宽带尼泊的送用多啊，这是这个可罗帕吧，呢，小团这种信息多的送用多啊，首先这是对嘛就是的可罗他们，呢。유진 그 외세 짜도 되네. 감디시 님부. 전에 다디 소야티. 자, 남자한테 차진도 조진 그 다와데 조 유진 그 외세 디땡네 소용 것도 와. 데 콜로 팔베 전시 동과 다 만지시는 소양 말이. 콜로 팔베 그는 소셔베 ngoni ji tongwe yu ji we se ti de zhe ni yu jing ge we se ge den ne ne sa ke song yong do a cha cha shi bu song ne de zo ba shi bu song ne de ani ge lu gi do jang ba mo de chi be dong ni ge da shi men ra che yo de da dong ni ge da nga la me ge yu jing we se ke ba wa ji ge ni ti go me wang de che na 다 조름기 생을 위해서 먼저 전에 인동이 고려돼 지고 창조 그래서 내가 농을 라케시 냠뉴지 옛날 저에 자나 공부 직접 보셔야 돼 자서 다다마다 타신 셔야 되셔 저든지 저선 어디 안다 수시 저저 위해서 되면서 콜로숨 망벌이 중국을 뭐 송송해야 다 인부디디 디는 단샤서 어디 된 거래 저것도 도스리 제니 다 돈이 있다 대대비니 가서 섬을 남기는 걸 매번 용해디 견대다 견대게 하던데 봐 대다 다음에 20년 다들 남주 스무도 막 소년들 아니 남주 태단데 괴배 존재 그러다 아니 대 권배출 권내니 뇽집에 주 숨신 숨고요래 다 당분 인중도 숨자 숨샤 단전 얘가 처로 롱매에 이러고 몇천년 나셔도 말이 안 하는 게 어디 남다 인중매가 스스로이 된데 니시를 타매라 실을 까마 이제 르제는 군이시 도망이 주제 생이 좀 그렇게 좀 제대로 다전에 니주지서 권배 수순을 단전이가 처로 롱매바 이를 권배 체대 나셔도 체대 나셔도도 치매 나셔도 이게 다네 인중 조용도가 이를 보면서 렌즈멜로 코에 동에는 양양선의 치매 나셔도 나다 기부송 기부 충진이 부터 님도로 막 제시 송도가 다 니주께에 차야돼 대설 권배 코에 변소를 이미 깨지상에 미지 인제 근도 타고 되냐고 주는 지징이 주께 봐라 소들이
第二句是劝谛听，就是劝弟子们应该听。
So with regard to the
就如同陆菩萨先生所说的，多劫逢生死，见此最劳役。所以
The second verse, listen with a clear mind, you fortunate ones, who are not attached to the joys of cyclic existence, who strive to make use the leisure and opportunity and direct your mind to the path pleasing the Buddhas. And so the path pleasing the Buddhas are here called to make this life meaningful, first of all, refers to the practice of the altruistic spirit of enlightenment. And so when you have the spirit of enlightenment, it is that agent or the factor which brings happiness to oneself and others. And this is the principle which the Buddhas have found to be the most beneficial to everyone, having given thought to it or reflected on it for eons in eons. And as it is mentioned in the Bodhisattvacharya Avatara by Master Shantideva. And then with regard to the teaching of the Buddha himself, the Buddha, after becoming enlightened, didn't first give any teachings, but he remained in the forest in silence. But where he said that he has found this nectar-like called principle or truth, which is profound, peaceful. So the profundity and peaceful here refers could be a reference to the first teaching of the Buddha, the first wheel of Dharma, of the Noble Truths. And then it also goes on to say that it is without any, free from any elaborations, which could refer to the second turning of the wheel of Dharma. And then he says it is like the clear light or luminous and unconditioned, which refers to the third turning of the wheel of Dharma. And so here the clear light and unconditioned refers to that of the subjective clear light of mind, which means that of the Buddha nature as well. And so this is what is taught in the Mahamudra and also the great perfection traditions as well. And so in these traditions, what is used mainly is this the subjective clear light of the mind, and together with the meditation on emptiness, of course. The meditation on the subjective clear light mind is not devoid of or absent of the meditation on emptiness, which is taught in the second turning of the wheel of Dharma. Although in the Gaelic tradition, there is an explanation of the emptiness apart from the relating to that of the subjective clear light mind. But here in the doctrine and when it comes to practicing the Tantra, when you reach that of the isolation of mind, it seems that the clear light of mind is used to meditate on emptiness, and then it seems all the looking at the teachings, all the different Buddhist teachings that is spread in Tibet, from that point of view, it seems all of them converge to the same point, as Master Benjamin Lawson Chökyen has mentioned. And so verse number 2 shows the reason for renunciation, practice of renunciation, and then verse number 3 refers to how to cultivate it, and verse number 4 refers to having cultivated, developed that of the renunciation. Verse number 5 gives that.
당시 짜게 저 부수 탈도 가서 응원주고 나나 당시 가서 괜히 중으로 응원주고 나서는데 당고 맛이 달라서 다른 디싱을서 수준 상으로 매바이 저를 인지주고 다른 두신 송은 신기 딱하다 원진기 직접 되게 제용도 된대기 나 타측도에 로 나오는 시 된딩네 아니 주는 준비 로 쇼차고 뒤 영향 그 심을 놓고 최기정식 제용도 근데 어들이 머리를 막신 끈이 팁사디 또 상단도 다 최기정식 다 간다 풍속이 되게劝디기디 아니 뭐지 뭐 저거 나야 규모도 근데 지금 로를 샤트야 지금 저는 아니 풍불루이도 샤요거네 나 신의 다도 좀 로트 쇼총 줘야지 이것이 통통도 저들이 인도 당시 짜게 쳐요 부수수 머리면에 맞은 끈이티 몸이 씹을듯이 겨울을 동네서 유지하면 나라스 내가 된저 집에 당이기 있다 소수된데 소수정된 자연도 내가 된저 집에 당이기 문주선에 인중계 버는 저신 도우신 자시 상당히 인달 상당히 돼 다디 랑된도 아니 래니이 코고 상면도잖아요. 인중사바체. 디샹데도 봐 상면도 아니 닝지기야티. 그도신다. 저다 인중사바 개베세리다 다다디샤. 당연디샤. 중앙정신 개발하서 니중대야 남다 생기기 스버면 알면 편조도 좀 lon전 주시면 좋기 난 자주고 생각하자 니 지쳐버려 있어 니 지기다 건드려서는 수다 주시는 도리는 도저로 뭐뭐 내가 된다 집에 만남기 현대의 상용도 원주섬의 심적 개발은 자 어디 자주고 생 공주들이 다 뒤숭하지那像就是戒备菜的，你就上把戒备菜送什么的那做，人之当的扩度的。
在第4句如何升起出离心之理的时候，为大悲的第7句来去做。
So verse number 6 says, such renunciation too, if not sustained by pure awakening and so forth. This shows the reason that for why we need to develop bodhicitta. And then the next verse, next 2 verses actually show how to cultivate bodhicitta. So first of all, in order to cultivate bodhicitta, in order to develop bodhicitta, one must have already cultivated this determination to be free from samsara. And so the verse number 7 and 8 could also be used to cultivate that of the renunciation or the determination to be free. And so here, although everyone wants happiness and no wants suffering, we are also all overcome with suffering, and that is because of our clinging to the self, an independent self of a person, and so that which is referred by the iron mesh of grasping, self-grasping, and so because of this, and we are bound in samsara where there is suffering and the 4 powerful rivers of suffering and so forth. And then the very basis of this grasping at a self is because of grasping at some true independent existence in other things like the psychophysical aggregates and so forth. And therefore, I mean, this is it says in the text in verse number 7, they are enveloped from everywhere by thick mist of ignorance. So this refers to the grasping at true existence of phenomena. And then in verse number 8 it says, by reflecting on all your mothers who suffer from such conditions. And in line 3, this particular line should be, if you in cultivating renunciation, you could actually switch this line to oneself, and referring to oneself by saying, by reflecting on this condition of myself, the suffering condition of myself, I shall generate the supreme, that of renunciation. And then the verse number 6 called this with regards to the measure of heaven developed bodhicitta, you can actually understand it through called that of the renunciation.
So that Tenzin Charjati, good Tenzin Chita so Nanshi, then a middle, somebody touch of you, look at you and do, any Tenzin never show Daji, Chayungari. What in the Hindu, a civil zone, Tenzin did a civil zone, in the civil zone, several many bears, Tishi tended over Tolan bears. That in Nagachimori. Tishi Tamit over Tolan bears, soon they were to the Moshisalo Category. 다른 신기 우선 참을로도 손토지. 디지 돈이도 토른 베슬럼네 우선 참을로도 인디 있어 좀 그러봐. 다 디지 땡지도 토른 베슬 되겠다. 루루 고모 투모이 뭐도 땡 것도가. 고루랑 그 자시르고 최저거라. 관계 땡진 저번중 선 땡진 저번중 그 최디스 아니 가보면 봐게면 저 당선에 땡중 타게도 제 덴지기니 다원등에기 덤버디 마운 담에버레스네 수고도가 저저 고라랑 차샤네 에니 안다 컨시 식식송에 찬도 덤버라나메 겨워 땡진데 먼저 수신도 못하는 데스네 간다다 루주고 공부 아니 tenjin zhiban zhimonga, tenjin tongpa nidu zhi, tenjin tenjin dawa tenjin ume longi nu sungdata, di pe zondu yu chi nu sungu yari. Ate di shi tenjin dawa tablan bes. Da? Zizi hodu khali ya, nang tenjin su nu nang cho rwa. Nang cho tenjin dawa lo digi tenjin li tega nigu ma rwa. Sa da di tenjin sa digi, 동부 인베 네번 전투버지 된지식 상로스 거윤도 아니 된지기 더 모니기 주변 동안들 로르 샤윤도 된지를 넣어야지 다들이 디지털로 돌는데
So verse number 9 says, if you do not have the wisdom realizing the ultimate nature, even if you gain familiarity with renunciation and awakening, you will not be able to cut the root of samsaric existence. So strive in the means of realizing dependent origination. And so here, what is important to understand is that although we the different practices such as love or and so forth can overcome certain mental afflictions such as attachment and so forth, anger and so forth, and it will not be able to, they will not be able to do away with that fundamental ignorance. And so as Master Dharmakirti says in his Pramana Vartika Karika, the commentary on the and cognition, that ignorance cannot be countered fully by that of those of the love and so forth, because they are not diametrically opposed to it. Because the ignorance holds on to things having some kind of a true independent existence, and therefore it must be overcome through a wisdom which realizes that things have no such existence at all. When you are able to gain conviction in that fully, then you'll be able to see the effect or the impact of the realization of dependent emptiness or selflessness and so forth, and therefore the rest of the negative emotions like anger and so forth can also be reduced. And here Tsongkhapa says, in order to overcome one's ignorance, strive to meet in the means of realizing dependent origination, instead of saying strive in the means of realizing selflessness or emptiness. He uses this dependent origination, because dependent origination is that factor or reason which can do away with both the extremes of eternalism and nihilism as well. And so this the reason of dependent origination is the reason by which Master Nagarjuna also praises the Buddha, as well as Tsongkhapa in his praise to the Bodhisattva, to the Buddha for teaching dependent origination. So when you are able to see things are dependently originated, then you'll be able to actually counter this ignorance, because you see things have no essential existence in and of themselves.
도도바 직전이야. 되네. 다여자바 마소베네. 되네 다여자바 조베네. 내가 숨숨도와. 다 도마 겨제베 남스즈잖네. 콘데게 최선제 균전 나냐 루어메 탄얘기 균제 땐지 침을 치신 아니 가서다 봐 캐나네 왜 네버 토시체 되게 더라 아니 덴지기 배 균제기 덴지기 가다 뒤제 쳐도 네버치기 쳐든지 탐절로 아니 받지 않아 다니야 매도 받지 미베 때서 간 근시 봐스 미데 차서 매딩이지 근데 그 고아실 리기도나 겨와 계베 남려야 리기하리스 겨 테니 산지 계베 남려쇼스 다 나왔던데 로어메 봐도 또 캘린처가 고안이부디 되게로야들이 나도 전적으로 치니 신베이는 지수는 도도 특별 공부 또 봤네 그거 맞아 봤어 되네 넘시 전적으로 봐 직접도 된데 밀로 통한 잠니네 라니 다디 샴디든 라오레 나에 여타세스 벤드기 쉐디디 준드기 덴디든 나에 쳐들어봤다 그래서 나 덴디 밀로 때도 봐봐 제인주잖아 얌제 그 준드기 덴디 지금 남이 타니에 간단 가서 그렇게 단 남이 몽구지도 직직도 도마 이니 유도 유진 상당에 상제도 심지어서 몽구지도 요래 파바가 짠왜 짠 예매도 지기 자유가 인도잖아 아니 지금 로로 나와 난시 다 예매 봐 자연도 캔매도 지기 자유가 인도 아니 나야데 다 텐주에 다 간다가 한서 로로 친나나야 되지면은 여지 그 나인 것도가 지도 다야 거를 또서 여지나 왔다 나는 텐진이 여지는 것도 나도 좀 천에 삼아서 로야 샤트야지 연구로 와 전이 다 대한다 뒤하고요래 계속해서 챌린지 나올 때도 다음에 니진에 시험을 밀음유 주메레베 따서 랑보소 나와서는 시지 던지치 가야매버 로이 따바삼스 대신 당신 코 양대서 최근 로다 민기 탄예기 따바삼래 덕신 남지 땡 랑게 여바 가야마시소스 대단나야 머리 니도기 바가 소수제 속중을 강나 시지 던지 주버식 용도가 강나 시지 던지 주버식 최수랑을 로면될 때스 대자 추별로 나와이 와서 되는 주변 들루디 가서 참고인별 로이모 참만 매고 해고 시도지 어다 되다 강나나야 되는 것이 나는 것도가 어다데 다그 탄예수의 장세 미시로서다 네가 리거래 자상가 강나 시지 던지 주버식 가지고 로는 게 어때 다데 타나데 관광피스 생활제 치료기 처디디 강한 시대 단계 주버시 때는 민도 센터자 두고도가 그러나 나대가 한서다 나 리벌 나 셰벌 차샤네 차샤세니 인도자네 그 때는 좀 되어지기 잘못도가 어디들이 가서 참고인 별로 인거로 상만 매버 캐고 신도제 다 띵고고요래 탄예도 장생 캐랑의 우메베 아니 가서 그게 탄예가 나디디 거래 예외 노르체 탄예가 거를 줍셉체 다 로나나 그 샤고 뭐이고 유정가 투모이고 둘루주 그냥 죽었을래도 다 딘지기 로데기 딘지기 다와데기 딘지 야너트야 가고도가 그 딘지기 로데 차스 쉬기도가 펜은 난데버지 다디 하리스도 쇼비는 괜찮아서 자 딘지 자상가 디 너시人生뭐 직서도 땐데 밀로 통한 3년에스 어떻게 땐데 직서도 없어야 그 직서서디 나와 땐데 밀로 통한 롯데다 롯지기 동고 통하게 시가 말이 거라 동리 통로도 가도래 땐데 통한데 주도래 이제 누구 동송 전통이지 그래서 치성기 나의 지금이 근데 땐지사디 그 샤라라바 샤라 떠봐 그래서 또왕게 샤sam지 뭐 통인도잖아 되는거네 저 때문에 선배 네네 가서 동리를 그냥 제형의 시기 다시 숨고도 너시르랑 뭐지도 땐데 밀로 통한 잠년에 내시 유진진나 근진나 그래서 저 써봐라 내시 유진나 근진나 사디 배절로 쉬jen게 된지 상대나라 송당치기 하래 야 수량의 표기 켜버지 그래 켜버지 그냥 송당 면다치기 양고 고알른다 면다치기 그냥 야참의 지 용량도 당량도 약 증명도 다도是 나전에 시행하나 여도서도 동부 메타스시 동부니 다 동부 되는데 때는 딱 와서 들은 야 오징어 토윤주잖아 나의 여타세 동부 메타스에 연구요래 교전 저부터 최신의 전세 따라 초고 민주로 다들 다해서做个事情 대선 남겨서 오는 중에 나는 랑의 시신도 그래서 왼바텐데 준주 또 걔네 땡기 되면도 줍식 푸스 어다 젊으시기 내려치기 푸스는 송야 그 나나 말하줘야 다들 있으면서 시다고 그래 죄송아 어두세
第9句第10句了。能见世出世间法，果随因学本无。
Verse number 10.
诸所缘，此乃正如佛起道。在此呢，根据摩督措尼的
according to
法来讲的话，佛起道
Modup Tsogni,
第一个呢就是
he says that
以及圆满正见之道。
when you actually study, having studied with the Madhyamaka philosophy, you should be able to gain certainty in the dependent origination of the law of causality, in terms of the law of causality, how things are brought about by the causes and conditions, and then having understood that and feel convinced with it, then you should also be able to see everything, all phenomena, whether they are compounded or uncompounded phenomena, should are devoid of any objectification. And so when you're able to gain that insight and conviction, you have entered the path that pleases the Buddha. And so the verse number 10, the final line said, at that point you have entered the path that pleases the Buddha. And then according to him, this text also goes through the time when you have not completed your analysis into the nature of things or emptiness, and then also that you have it also goes through that the stage where you have actually completed your analysis into the emptiness, and so verse number 11 refers to not having completed that the analysis. And then verse number 12 refers to having completed the analysis into the correct view of emptiness. So what happens to us is, we seem to actually see things as if they have some kind of an objective, independent existence, whether it's the objects and the subjective mind or the cognition, or whether we are talking about good and bad, or Buddha and sentient beings and so forth. What happens to us is that these things have some kind of independent existence from their own side, just as they appear to us. But then when you are able to see, and after having studied the Madhyamaka philosophy and having given thought to it and have gained some kind of an understanding of what the Madhyamaka view actually talks about, when you see things that things appear to you as if they have some independent objective existence, from your understanding of Madhyamaka view, you could actually you should be able to confirm that they do not exist the way they appear to you, that they do not exist objectively. And so you should be able to gain that kind of understanding or insight having studied Madhyamaka philosophy. And then the seventh Dalai Lama also says that we seem to have this kind of belief that things have an objective existence, and yet we should be able to reject that kind of existence in things, that they have some objective existence. And then within the Madhyamaka tradition, there are those of the Savatantrika Madhyamakas who do assert that things have objective existence. And when you assert such a thing, the objective existence in things, then what happens is, you're not able to do away with all kind of objectification. Although you may say that things have no independent or true existence and so forth, you're not able to still still confirm that things how this ignorance grasps at true existence of things. You may not be able to reject that objectification as it is held by that distorted view. And so what you should be able to do is in anything that you can think of, that you should be able to confirm that things have no objective existence at all. And so it says in the verse number 12, if the entire object of grasping at certitude is dismantled, at that point your analysis of the view is culminated or completed. Verse number 13 and 14 also.
Lo charachene, yilu charachene. Bena sedugi nega ku yilu, milungu nega ku yilu, ani ni tubu ku nega ku yilu. Daga na shingi ngaranzo leba di leba da tende be yilu chik. Ani leba chawa gasimbi chila nedea ka yilu, di yilu chashul chate. Anda tsenribu me moshibati di yu, da 아주 투둠 수사시도와 레바 가사를 레베 차와 지고 말에 용자전은 다 시사시 그래도 그 풍부수에 해야지 될이야 이루 참여되네 이루 참여 남샤 뒤토는这些좀 모두 심도가
接下来要讲解的内容是有关
So in the third wheel of the Dharma, there is this the division or the categorization of mind into the subtle and the degrees of subtlety. And so the mind and the awaking state is gross, and then the subtler than that is mind when you are in deep sleep, and then subtler than the subtler than that is when you dream, and then subtler than that one is when you have in deep sleep. And the subtlest mind could be said to be at the time when all our working of the brain has stopped completely, but still people's body remains quite fresh without decomposing. And so at that point we would say that the subtlest mind still is within that body. And so scientists are of course not able to still explain that.
lo chagati di yewa chen lo chamme de ni nyam cha she do wa da di thome ji ngon ru de ma zo la yin nen jo la mi ki la yin na jo na lo la chi wo chi gu lam ji pa du long gu lam ji ene ju gu lam ji chen lam ji sum she do wa
所以在密宗金刚阵，尤其是无上瑜伽部里面。
So in the highest yoga tantra, there is mention of the subtlest, using the subtle clear light mind and use that in one's practice to turn into path. And so, as a preliminary to be able to really experience this, we go through the process of taking the three states of death, intermediate state, and rebirth into the path, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya.
So that again the Jermuchi is Jamia Shasiasani. And the Tegishu and Shiri. And the Yahagi and the Sanga Chokoto Monguji and Kansa Cherawachi and Labella Shasi, Labella and Dambatenche. Those drotic to one. Just made the Kansa Gosensi. And Xi Jing does the Jadi. 투문 돌려 숨고도가 그봐 당연히 발리 숨디디 그것도 숨사디가 돌아 그래서 아니 건강으로 소디디 그것도 전에 아니 이 영자를 루준할 거야 되겠지 다 팀민기 식시징도 저 영자기 저 그것도 맵 세우게 맵체체 아니 산지가 말이잖니 셰대야 연구하러다 그래서 어디 도서리 아니 다 대 양고就是用着前的还是送什么的，我怎么这里写这个的？那西路你们哪里呀？跑过简是走出来那个多吧？加上呢，西路你们送是的，看啥来大些的简是通过了不的，简是马桶那个米奇的那边呢，特里写的副看呢，当时是厨子那边主要是基不落修行个什么情况的？
钟大师见到了。
So I mentioned about how Tsongkhapa had visions of Manjushri and received teachings and so forth. And similarly in India, there were Indian masters who received tantric teachings in visions of deities and so forth. And so these teachings are usually, I call them the specialized teachings, called particularly specially tailored for specific disciples. And so, and then with regard to the teaching of the sutra, I mean, I usually consider the teaching to be, the sutra teachings to be general structure teaching of the Buddha, and particularly here I mentioned that the perfection of wisdom teachings are teachings which are the general teachings of the Buddha, although it was not popularly known, not given in a kind of large public gathering as such of ordinary beings, but therefore it is said sometimes that the Mahayana teachings, like the perfection of wisdom teachings, are not the teaching of the Buddha, but still the teachings of the perfection of wisdom could be considered the general teaching. In regard to the Heart Sutra, for example, I usually say that we find mention that called the Shariputra was actually asking question to the Avalokiteshvara, and if there were people who had who could not see Avalokiteshvara but only Shariputra and who had no pure vision, they might think that Shariputra was actually talking to himself.
사격은 이제 리스마시 기부 담보들은 몽고지리아 타고 나왔는데 사용 것도 다 안듯이 또부 지리아 아니 다 타고 가라 지금 뭐예 네 중앙 대외 원부 제 인들이 뒤치 강변만 쇼라 야 아니 디안다 전에서 가서 보니 어디 지로 뭐 산체 도 심벌이 산다 데진리스도가 데 제네시 녀석군들 가서 보니 디베 치로 렌즈 토바이 겨워르 녀송 도스네 치로 차지 토바이는 겨워지면 녀송은 미지어디 베팅 게레나도 같이 나라 어쩐지 아니 내지 왜 가서 그러지 뭐 저거디 뉴욕이라 되게团에 되게 세야들이 몇만이 rumbunji di chogadan zhi tuane sabi o dosri da jana de in tamebe na sene tai nangxin ani gebe tuane da chilo shu yore so danya lama ani tamebe na ba ji du mo yin ba ani 现在是10年元素一个古装的一本的信息现在是10年元素电子机里啊也有光切就说아니 중국 숨체니 예라怎么真相原理啊 아니 이거저리现在我的技术不都是有光切
这种镜像
And so with regard to this particular blessing of Avalokiteshvara, together with flanked by two deities, other deities, the Green Tara and Ekajati, it is a teaching which has come, which was received by Trubong Pema Sherab or Karang Pema Sherab, one of the Tagpu Dorje Changs, in a vision of this Avalokiteshvara. And so it says in the text itself that if you receive this blessing once, you will be saved from being born in the lower realms once. And I have done, as I said before, I have actually done the retreat on this particular deity and recited the six-syllable mantra 100,000 times. So this deity, so in order to receive this blessing, you should imagine the Lama, me, in the form of Semging Yeso, this the Avalokiteshvara Semging Yeso, not as an ordinary person like you usually see me. So the Lama is flanked by these two deities, the goddesses, the Green Tara and Ekachati. So as you see in the Tanka, if you can see the Tanka painting, or the Tanka.
Nidarish, the Simji Sunguyari, Chandong Sunguyari, and the Simja Tamja Dag, Jordan years and someone Namdag Samdangida. So did she do in it? She Niji done the cakes as she roll Shagmido. And charging the Simja Tamja Dag, Dan Jordan Yeni. Civil Sugar Simja Tamja Yendo Tetigari, that Delia in it. She Jaya said she lost the window. Time me, Lama number 2 him is the jig. Me want the Janana could look at on under so me, Kumbashikuri, Maremene, Hada Jinju City, territory, Jobatamji, John Road, the part of Delon to the person, Tato Family of Gawaki, Sene, Sheshi, the into Gedog Tree. Shirato Stangi, Shirato Dansari, Tatusri. Tachani, Tata Kumdri, any Simgiari, Daniel Dingala, Yang Chanzo Kimba, Pomotu Guinea, Jutuna, Yahwehari, Shasona, Levishinga de Misova, Gumuku, Zaimsheva, Didi. Double Carolina Malane, the Jig never chuna, General Jorba. Level to give Jimmy Mossam, Zongan dread Zemgurota. The Mijula Mezuni can also Bangshay Yamari. That the name Changmitung. That Changmitung does Gangayota, because it would do Changmitung. And that chick, live trading the Jig turning Yemi Tungushune. 蒙古没同学，热死是没同学，我的老师啊都是的。
通常在传授这种密受金刚乘的加持的时候，会有一个流程叫做一朵妈去。
So with regard to this kind of initiation, there's the practice of doing this torma offering to drive away evil forces, so-called evil forces. But I do not do this, and since some time ago I have stopped doing this practice because I'm somebody who practices and cultivates bodhichitta and takes bodhisattva vows every day, and therefore, as we find in the text for bodhichitta and bodhisattva vows, may I be able to call upon all sentient beings as my guests. And so I'm somebody who sincerely does this and feels that, and therefore I don't find any sentient being as someone to be gotten rid of, driven away and overcome, such as ghosts and called evil beings and so forth. I don't consider, in my mind, no sentient being actually appears as called evil and so forth. For someone who sees all sentient beings as my friends, there's no one to be driven away, to be gotten rid of as such, and I feel uncomfortable doing this. Although the other lamas may do according to their own practice and according to their own experience, I do not do this, and since some time, and offering the torma. And as Master Shantideva says in his Bodhisattva Charya Avatara, today in front of the Tathagatas, I call upon the sentient beings to the feasts of the Buddhahood, Tathagata or Sugata, and also in the meantime for higher rebirth and so forth. Therefore, all gods and non-gods, be happy. And so And then we'll do the bodhichitta vows. And before that, for the lay people who wishes to take the layperson's vows, there are 5 precepts to be kept and observed, which are not killing human beings, not committing rape, and not stealing, not committing the grave lies, and not drinking alcohol.
像我的
And
具足戒
so,
的
with regard to the first 3 vows, precepts, I mean, even if you don't take vows, if you commit them, you will be actually prosecuted by the law of the land, and you land in prison. And so, and then with regard to the 4th one, I mean, the ordinary people may not be at risk of committing that, but the 5th one, not taking alcohol, I mean, I would say that you don't take alcohol too much to the point of becoming death if you need to, as Ling Rinpoche had once told one Tibetan elderly man who took these vows from him, and when he explained not taking this, the elderly man said that I cannot give up. And then Ling Rinpoche said, just take a little bit, not too much, to the point of getting drunk. And now for this layperson's vows, now make 3 prostrations to the Buddha as the teacher, and then make 3 prostrations to me as the person from whom you take these vows. And now kneel on your right knee. So for the layperson's vow, we'll recite these lines: Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, and Namo Sanghaya.
So when you say Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya, you take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha with the aim of becoming enlightened for the benefit of all sentient beings. And you also aspire to attain the qualities that are in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha within yourselves as well. And so with this in mind, please repeat these lines for the layperson's vows.
Namo Buddhaya,
Namo Buddhaya,
Namo Dharmaya,
Namo Dharmaya,
Namo Sanghaya,
Namo Sanghaya,
Namo Gurumbe,
Namo Gurube,
Namo Buddhaya,
Namo Buddhaya,
Namo Dharmaya,
Namo Dharmaya,
Namo Sanghaya,
Namo Sanghaya,
Namo Buddhaya,
Namo Buddhaya,
Namo Dharmaya,
Namo Dharmaya,
Namo Sanghaya,
Namo Sanghaya.
Dharmaya. Da labi shi ngati ngandi ne le chomde de ge jara ani keni ge toba shi gen zu kande se labu nan shi shi ngarang ge chushin do labi sa ba shi mo shi bo do labi sa ba shi dos semya loya ning do ge je tam chi sha wo le jin de ke mo cha da.
So, though we will not do any repetition of the lines, but keep in mind that you'll be courageous enough to train yourself in the footsteps of those past masters who have taken these Upasaka vows, and to keep them until the end of your life. And practice correctly. And next is taking the Bodhisattva vow. So as it is said in Bodhisattva Charyavatara, And today my life is born fruit, I'm born into the Buddha's family and so forth. So it is very fortunate that we are able to generate and take the Bodhisattva vows and generate bodhicitta. So it's not only to say that we are fortunate to be able to take the Bodhisattva vows and generate bodhicitta, but if you really think through, you'll see that bodhicitta is something that really gives you inner strength, this strength, the courageous heart, and also to be able to see all beings as one's friends.
Oh yeah. Some give to serve that over, Luther over. Some true then, Mizukore Tundra, then Tuxone, Ranshia, Yungudua, Terkazabolitigala, Ranshang and Mongudua. Move to Nisha Yawayane, Ranshang and Toba, got a Sangutan, Mojo Yunga. That's some Mojo Young, some Mojo Sogan, so then Ranch decision. And did the Nimdolia, J. 파로 수로 전조되는데 된지지 지단다 랑진진 동다 현지원들 로데 뭐는 전에게 저 치단 정식의 뒤지 조정 되는 저 유서에 메시지는 되는 서버상고치다 로칭의 연구를 서버 나고지다는 미지 로칭 배치 갖고 있다 자 드리도 사대 라즈는 어서 누구도 대 러시아는 뜻이잖아요. 러시아에 무슨 러는 시집을 많이 쳐준대요. 실험 탐시 두고 인저에서 진심이 있어야지. 다른 것도 내용이 상황이죠, 봐. 내용이 상황이지. 얘네 섬상고시지. 얘네 돈이 더 상당 차이도 있잖아요. 다른 용어배 상황을 치니 랭이 교랑 대여대 이내 세미나를 오늘 전에 왜 자주 자셔는 시기를 올려 샤트야지 연구도 봐. 실험 탐시 두고이 저행에서 준신 저 탐시 연구를 저집에 지디 저용무 동서에 심진다와 샤와이 차단 걸로 깨디디 계세유 심진소로 봐. 심진이 타지도 一年都带移动了带你用的咱呢，那带的是不是牛毛给你们的痛，牛毛个早的空没的的什么可用的，好的。主要是这年这里主要就是这牛毛东西生命的话小些，主要没些人的经济因为全部有，他们说我们说了没的用过穷人一些呢，从小的我那真是的，要上大呢，这这人的长久是不是大概这个彻底特别一年。 지금은 교상고 인대버지 배지다 상당 되지요리 되는 인도잖아요. 어다 아다 검들 다 소소 소수고 있는 소수 샤불이야 전셔도 샘게야 용거리 레디네 다 라메 종네 아니 샘게바이나 딱고 방부수로 찾도와 아니 Lama Zamari, Yawasada Chava Yusapache, the Digidulia, Simki, Indugo, Sheragi, Simlia, Shukcheta, Tamsata Masuna, Temple Yungari, or Dusinda.
如同陆菩萨学生所说的“灭死圣甘露，即此菩提心”。如果真的发起了这一颗利众的菩提心的发心的话，你的内心是如此的平静。
So, with regard to bodhicitta, it is said to be that nectar which overcomes one's mortality and death. And so, when you practice bodhicitta, what you actually experience is peace of mind. You have happiness within your mind, and therefore your physical health also is better, and therefore it can overcome our mortality or the death. And whereas if you remain selfish, extremely selfish person, then you are not happy at all. And with that attitude, you also go to the length of committing suicide. And so the main factor for our unhappiness, frustration, and so forth is this the self-cherishing attitude, and together with it, it is supported by that of the grasping at true existence in things, and therefore, when you practice bodhicitta, it actually overcomes one's poverty. It is like that of an inexhaustible treasure that you gain. It is like this inexhaustible treasure that overcomes poverty, and then it also is this tree, this great tree, which actually gives cool shade to those who are fatigued on the path of samsara. And so, of course, while we are in samsara, we are brought about into this life through the power of our karma and delusions, and therefore we are in the sway of them. But when you experience bodhicitta, although the bodily and the physically and mentally you are in the samsara itself, but in your mind, the joy that you have is comparable to the joy of an arhat, and so you mentally don't suffer, although you are afflicted in samsara. And then when you are able to see all sentient beings as your friends, and also you see that the mental afflictions are faulty, and then you also when you practice to the practice of bodhicitta, you will see that it is like that of the sun that dispels the darkness in your mind. It is like the essence of butter of the dharma as well. So just hearing the word bodhicitta should be able to give some joy in your heart. So with regard to bodhicitta, of course you can generate bodhicitta by yourselves in your room or other places, but here you are taking it from a Lama, which actually helps you to see the Lama as your witness, Lama together with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas as your witness, and therefore your commitment to keep the bodhicitta would be firmer. And let's for bodhicitta ceremony now, let's say the 7-limb practice.
所有礼赞供养佛，请佛注释转法轮，随喜忏悔诸善根，回向众生及佛道。所有礼赞供养佛，请佛注释转法轮，随喜忏悔诸善根，回向众生及佛道。
So whatever merit I have gained through the prostration, making offerings, rejoicing, confessing my negativities, and requesting the Buddhas to turn the wheel of Dharma and not to pass away. This is said 3 times. With this practice of a 7-limb,
So
we'll say the words for
주시 책임이 있어봐. 저도 다 전주 최소 이용 짝티스 말에 진실을 뒤에 스네들 다가 너도 다가 너도 녀네 때 페버 줘야 돼 네거를 터도 근데 줘야 돼 전주 스베다 또 나바 시고는 센션도 줘야 돼 근데 이번 인도산에 진실을 뒤에 스네들 다가 주는 전주 최소 이용 짝티 돌아 편지 사게 주고 쇼스 전주 스베 줘봐 그 탐전에 想了偏不不是主要，被移动的这个印度人呢，就是这种用这个意思，当然呢，找了偏是商业就搞不透了，这个意思，但是他们这些商业搞不特别给，人就是提的呢，那个人生就是就是当时是这种因为这个叫的，城市上的这个地场话，俺哪里给意思？ 的生见到的，人家呢，这个弄的小差不几月的他呢，那人讲呢，其实是个多么痛苦呀的，这个弄的慢呢，其实是个多么痛苦嘛的，身上我结巴上个，没什么结巴上什么的，就种痛苦嘛的，就种痛苦的，其实是个这个他的最新的弄什么这个，都是到弄的。 这个弄的小差不结果的，第一点，你那是个教啥子是吧？第一点，帮不了下。 第一个哪怕他把了结束了呢，当然他的先晓得审计，先就是就把他到了最新的那个人啥的，审个他们这下，人都见了他们这下，有的先是个都不送下的嘞，找了盘子上节做了少下的可多了，先就是个连书没可多了，就是个都不丢了结束啥不起啊？
在诸佛菩萨的面前。
So the text that we'll use for Bodhisattva vows is I go for refuge to the three jewels, I confess individually all my negativities, I rejoice in the merit of migrating beings, I take hold with my mind the perfect state of Buddhahood. And then that is taking called generating bodhichitta in general, and then I go for refuge. The next verse is that of refers to the aspiring bodhichitta, where you think of becoming a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. You are not thinking only to benefit yourself, but all sentient beings. And then the last verse says, I mean, in the second verse, it says, in order to fulfill the aims of myself and others, I shall develop the supreme enlightened motive, which is bodhicitta. And this is this intention or the thought which solely thinks of benefiting other sentient beings. And then it gives the benefits, the short-term as well as lasting goal of enlightenment. And then in the third verse, it says, I shall develop the supreme enlightened... in order to fulfill... having developed this supreme enlightenment, called mind of supreme enlightenment, I shall develop. Towards all sentient beings, my invited guest, I shall act with supreme enlightened contact. And so, you think of all is benefiting all sentient beings, and not only intending to benefit all sentient beings and to become, for their sake, to become enlightened, a Buddha, but you also think of taking the practicing engaging the Bodhisattva practices, and so without actually thinking of engaging the Bodhisattva practices, you will not be able to receive the Bodhisattva vow as such. So the most important thing in Bodhisattva practice is that of restraining the extremes called self-cherishing attitude. And so you take the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas as your witness, and in front of them you actually generate this courage to engage in the Bodhisattva practices, having generated bodhicitta. So at the end of the third repetition, please feel convinced that you have received the Bodhisattva vows. So you should have the intention to become a Buddha for the all sentient beings, and also to engage in the bodhisattva practices in order to receive the bodhisattva vows. I go for refuge to the three jewels. I confess individually all my negativities. I rejoice in the merits of all beings. I take hold of enlightenment of Buddha. I go for refuge until enlightenment of Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly, and I do so to enlighten mind in order to fulfill the image of myself, and I shall develop the Supreme Enlightened motive, having developed the Supreme Enlightened motive. I shall call such beings as my guests, and I shall engage in this delightful Supreme Enlightened conduct. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I should take refuge in the two jewels. I confess all my negativities. Individually, I rejoice in the merits of all beings. I take to mind Buddha's enlightenment. To the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I take refuge until I'm enlightened. To achieve the benefit, the interest of myself and others, I shall develop bodhichitta. Having developed this supreme mind of bodhichitta, I shall call upon all sentient beings as my guests, invite all sentient beings as my guests. I shall delightfully enact the Supreme Enlightened content. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Here, at the end of the third repetition, please feel convinced that you have received the Bodhisattva vows. I seek refuge in the three jewels. I confess each wrong actions. I rejoice in the merits of all beings. I take to heart the state of Buddhahood. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. To the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. In order to fulfill the aims of myself and others, I shall attain I shall develop bodhichitta. Having developed the spirit of highest enlightenment, I shall invite all sentient beings as my guests. And by enacting the Supreme Enlightened conduct, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Please sit down.
我们每一天都要发心，因为我们现在先需要承诺，这是很重要的。
On a daily basis.
如果可以的话，
if you are able to do it when you feel disturbed in your mind, you should think of bodhichitta. And when you feel dispirited in low spirit, you should also think of bodhichitta.
他现在地形是个多重要的这个概念，他的呢，人家定的，啊，这简单起来的。当年了，简单其实是呢，拉玛的团结，他广播能行，拉玛做他结果要的，但这根本往头根是，容易他工作起来，往马头不是让个酒里啊，他工作起来都行的。
So just as the Lama himself has generated him into the main deity, as well as the portrait in the altar into the deity, likewise the disciples also should generate themselves into the deity in order to receive this blessing. And so, for those who have received the full-fledged initiations, you can imagine yourself transforming into the deity, Kasapani, and also for those who have not received the full-fledged initiation, you can imagine the deity on your crown.
any Tetan Tone, any Shandu Sugudi Sharing Yorva. So the need is in that's all the Sim Dandonga Togdoa. So Sim Dandon, Diju to you Sim Dondanga, the Sim Dandon Chiburwa. Got the Tommy Rinshi with the Chiburwa, that thing and some Dangota. So the need in Chan Samolo, Tony comes.
And so just reflect on those lines that I have recited yesterday from the Mahayana Uttara Tantra, which says that all the complete enlightenment of the Buddha, the Buddha's body is radiant, and that the mind, the emptiness or the suchness of the mind of sentient beings and Buddhas have no difference, and so forth. And so, in other words, when you become a Buddha, what you attain is that of the Svabhavika Kaya, the truth body, which is the nature truth body, and also the wisdom truth body. And these two in turn arise, or you are able to attain them because of the emptiness of a mind as sentient being. And so meditate on emptiness. So for these 4 days, we have been thinking about and talking about emptiness. So meditate on emptiness. So let us think on emptiness along using these lines from Mula Madhyamaka Karika, that you are not one with the aggregates, not different from, you are not in the aggregates, the aggregates is not in you, and that you don't possess the aggregates. Who am I?
Om Sumbawa Shuto, Sawatamo Sumbawa Shuto Hangs, Om Sadigi, O Masum Shani, Lunga Yusum Chabache, the Lunga Yusum the Tenatavanga. The Tendrigita Ngadi, Tata Mata Vendigoche, the Mata Vendigo, the Ngadi, the Yende Kazata, Jen Tata Pang, Yende Tata Zogre, Sang Jet, Seagi, Tendrigita, Tani Jenkin, Nala, Yuriala. 다 동니 공고 요리 옴 자상가 진지 인도 옴 사리 마당랑아 다 대양 뭐송도 야 말이스 당의 시스 저하리 나 탑제 디시시부터야 당의 시스 저하리 사드리지게다냐 동관이를 냐버셔 다 된지기 뭐니지 최초제 때는 땅섬 나상 지금 마도 뭐니 로로 나오는 시 뭐니 지도 때는 매 사도 과다 쳐버지기 삼루스탄에 된대기다 당신 매 사도 로티 애니 다 규제셔니 다 애니 네 밤에 빼먹고 담아수 뭐라 빼먹고 숨기 땡도 애니 다단로 의수 애니 바보 전시 스밍이야소 애니 예수 전장 연도 애니 레지마 어두스라 종고숨 왕토버즈 소소된이 상당 왕마토버즈 애니 지울이야 제네시스 종고숨의 셋업쇼
So the mantra for meditation and emptiness is Om Swabhava Shuddha Sarvatama Swabhava Shuddha Hang. And so Om represents the body, speech, and mind, as it is made up of 3 letters, A, U, and Ma, representing the body, speech, and mind. At this stage, of course, our body, speech, and mind are impure. And so these 3 impure body, speech, and mind has to be transformed into pure body, speech, and mind, whereby you become a Buddha, wherein you have overcome all defilements, all defects, and have gained all perfect qualities. And so the transformation from this impure body, body, speech, and mind to the pure body, speech, and mind of a Buddha comes through the meditation on emptiness. Therefore, you should meditate on emptiness, think about yourself, and feel convinced that you, as you think of yourself, that you do not exist and call it independently. And when you analyze yourself into your body, speech, and mind, you do not have any inherent existence. And similarly, it is the case with the Buddha. And so have a strong conviction that you have no independent existence at all. And with that, through that meditation, you transform into the palm syllable, and that in turn gives rise to 3 lotus flowers, on which rise the 3 deities. In the center is Avalokiteshvara, and then to his right is Green Tara, and to his left is Ekachati. So make a prayer in your mind, a fervent prayer in your mind, that you may receive or request for receiving the request for the blessings of body, speech, and mind of the Buddha Avalokiteshvara. And so the body with the perfect attributes, and then the most important way that Buddha's help sentient beings is through giving teachings, and therefore you should think of receiving the blessings of the Avalokiteshvara here, so that your speech is not used to deceive others, to for false speech and so forth, and so restrain from them. And then the blessings of the bodies and speech of the Buddhas come mainly because of the enlightened mind of a Buddha, which is called in the nature of compassion and also wisdom, realizing the diversity of things as well as the reality as it is. And therefore, you should make a prayer for the blessings of the body, speech, and mind of Buddha.
Lama Chensu any Ju Omle, any Chensu Kupatum Chun, Daganashing Dunji Genesigi, Ju Omle, any Chensu Kupatum Chun, the Channel Lama Timje, Channel Juluma Timni, Guishan Toson Yabata. Any Bandelama Chensu Jimba Ale, any Chensu Kumarput in the bottom of Chun, Ig number Padu Chuni, Dunji Tishi Chuni, Channel Lama Jingala Timni. Majishalo Malo Toson Yaba. Taganajig any Lama Genesis Ninge any Hungle any Genesis Kundongo Padovachon, Taganashingi Tuchisa Hui Mopadovachon, the Choranola Martin, Dunji Tuganaja Tendavachunde, any Kenzi Yende, Sandy Mikива, and Rala Yato, Toson Yaba, those Gemina Shoa.
And so imagine that the Lama is in the form of Avalokiteshvara, and also imagine that the deity in the altar. So from both the Lama as the deity and the deity in the altar, from their Om syllable on their crown, innumerable, inconceivable numbers of Avalokiteshvara, white in color, comes forth and comes forth and dissolves into the Om syllable and on your crown, and then you receive the blessing of a body of Avalokiteshvara. And then similarly from the R syllable at the throat of the Lama and the deity in the altar, the red Avalokiteshvaras come forth and dissolves into the R at your throat, and thereby receiving this blessing of speech. And similarly from the Hum syllable at the Guru's heart and the heart of the deity, blue Avalokiteshvaras come forth and dissolves into the Hum syllable in your heart, thereby receiving the blessings of wisdom and compassion of Avalokiteshvara.
waka adisana ambisha omaya logushuru zida adisana ambisha omaya logushuru zida adisana ambisha omaya logushuru zida aditana ambisha ya a da digi lugi diktu joya nga ki diktu joya yi diktu joya sene da lunga yisumbu di be sosu pa lunga yisu sosu ne pa kanta kaso be matakbe chati pa jangni toru eni sanjeji kusung tuk die di eni ngojik chade gyari la dene yindu sanjeji eni sai kusung tusu yeme rojibachi di yoyagi shimaru dela tata ngaranzu da lunga yisum rakwe tenge dikdikdi jangni da dene lunga yisum chao sungsung rojiba da di ngondo gyoyagi eni chenlo naro na sabetane eni Lama Genesis sawa dunyi Genesis seve ne sumjalo ne eni ahum sumchungni eni kya Lama namji jiwon jimba nyinga sonu matim ma jiwon jimba nyinga disha chene matim chene da eni samsu rojibe kusungtuga yonda tada eni rangla ya ngondo gyoya ge gyaba jangdo gyosong nyambe eni meba nashawa.
And so that was blessing the body, speech, and mind, to transform body, speech, your impure body, speech, and mind into the body, speech, and mind of a pure body, speech, and mind of an enlightened being. Now, next is receiving the blessings of the body, speech, and mind all together, and so that you receive the blessings in order to purify the very subtle defilement which hinders us from attaining a state of a Buddhahood whereby your body, speech, and mind become of one taste. And so for that, you imagine that the rays of light comes forth from the body, speech, and mind, Om, Ah, and Hum syllables at on the body of the Guru, and they dissolve simultaneously into the Om, Ah, Hum on your body, and thereby you overcome all the defilements together, and you become someone fortunate enough to attain the body, speech, and mind of a Buddha, which are of one taste.
다들 이니 총보 너무 많이 벌어 봐. 속이 좋아. 다들 둥지 아주 전에서 속고숨을 세네 여대가 델리야 내 소왔다 진지 아니 말 네, 저주 이번에 너무 담아 참아 써야 되는 뒤에 지금 타르 아니 전에서 속고숨 소수지올이야 봐 세네 여대가 다 텔라마팀 텔레 랑르니버시 랑니르마팀제 아니 파고체네시 아니 구순토게 다 랑르 류가 예수 예메 로지도 교송냐바 다 디토네 다 뒤타네 손데 베껴네 껴 치르네 치르 파고체네시도 재미지기 타네 아니 장죽스 마기버기 기버 코네 콘도 페이데 타르네 파고체네시 고방 다 토야게다
And so His Holiness will hold the torma, which has the portrait of the deity stuck on it. So the torma actually is generated into the deity himself. And so when His Holiness goes, says the prayer, and he mentions the names of the lineage lamas, one by one from the top down, that lineage lamas dissolve one into the next, below, and finally all dissolve into, imagine they're all dissolve into the Chandrakirti in the form of the torma that you see, and from the Chandrakirti, the replica emerges, and this dissolves into you. Thereby, you are blessed so that you'll be taken care of from life after life until you become enlightened without separation by the Avalokiteshvara, so that you become someone fortunate to be able to be taken care of and guided by Avalokiteshvara life after life until you reach enlightenment. So please repeat this mantra, which is the transmission of the mantra. Om mani padme hum, Om mani padme hum, Om mani padme hum, Om mani padme hum.
Om ayatare tam soha.
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 Om eganzade hum 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 soha.
Oh yeah. No ci vedi la sala di lo mangiato su un suo di benza e so, un suo di benza e so, un suo di benza e so. 다들 인해서 contribution 주어리这些的送的话대 참여가 제심 지들 되고 지사장 진로连日 토바에 겨워를 인해 손도 손들 송샤
So
the text mentions that someone who receives this, each time someone receives this blessing of Avalokiteshvara, his or her door to the lower realms of existence is stopped or closed.
대대 처지 탄댕을 너무 mongu지 들때 lungu mongu지네 대패시 독스 남버리 장상월로 돈이 전부 나셔 독스 남버리 두시세 쓰기 애는 가다가 한주다 지금에 지금 쉬우쉬우도 신마를 때 이내 강신실지 제가 저셔로 저란주이네 후다바다 반년체这个给是出不低的就是讲这样的共同生活的时候这个我们了其实在我内心大家能就讲这个被我们了在我内心这个的我咱们了难受啊
那今天
So here we have people who belong to the Bliss and Wisdom organization, which was founded by the late Venerable Tenzin Chamchen Lai, and also we have mainly Chinese, and then we have other Chinese Dharma friends, and also people from different disciples from different countries, many different countries as well. So although I do not know much, but I have done my best. So I thank everyone for coming here to receive the teachings, and although I don't know much, but I have explained the Dharma as much as I can. And let us all dedicate the merits that we have gained, just as the dedications were done by Manjushri and others.
Tenpa jikden kansu champa ta tenpa yu shindu sawa ta tenzi punu shindu tenpa tenpa yu rin nebe zhenshi shos. 但这样子好对了，怎么这样说？
你们不是要念那个什么长寿祈愿文吗？现在可以开始念诵。
无云生者善密经，无以随所调伏，实现幻化。 有机妙善中言如意保持戒，恩者常是海会中我的梦里因，曾其情血与火，但今亚多尊长寿一装百劫永坚。 祈愿人云承办其家持法界。 因欲举起如地成大乐智慧幻化于无数，人以坛城中显出一切本尊诸天中我的梦，因中成其情血与不足等因要作尊长寿。 用坚固祈愿人与承办其家持端正功德混元功勋业尽，众生皆海恒有喜缅怀绕以十力天中。 无边善事一切生者中我的梦里因坛曾其情血与护等经嘎错尊长寿一种百劫永坚固祈愿人承办其家持端正功混元功勋业尽，众生皆海。
intense longing, grand and spiritual dedication, land of the Lord, land of snows, may live on perishing and his aims be achieved of themselves. Thus bless apparition of great bliss wisdom acting like clouds in the whole Dhammadava sky, appearing as countless supporting mandals as you assemblies of Yidam deities. To you we make request with intense longing, grant inspiration that the death of snows may live 100 eons unperishing and his aims be achieved of themselves. Abandonment and realization is complete. You help with the perpetual play of the light of your actions in oceans of samsaric worlds, 10 powered ones, to make gods of gods, all you infinite conquerors of 3 times. To you we make request with intense longing, grand inspiration that the Gyatso, Lord of the land of snows, may live 100 eons and unperishing his aims be achieved of themselves and so forth. 不离解脱金刚之成以弥陀圣者以圣界众魔的梦里因盘成其情血与辅助等经加错长寿一种百劫永坚固祈愿人承办其家持空心插图尽于是林中怀，蒙了百
乃至只有一切诸层般一切殊妙，善尽有福空心中还回我的梦，因盘成其气血与护助等经高所尊长寿，百劫永坚固祈愿人与承办齐家，金刚持之法音受音戒不离经验大吉投入，维护教基持教为师尊居士，护教大海中我的梦里因盘成其血与护助等经高作尊长寿一尊百永坚固祈愿人与承办齐家持如是无殊胜仪轨众生心之成恭敬其情力无穷中坚必知我等其经学与众生度护诸阿王罗等经高错尊三密不坏不变不衰，尽力坏灭金刚常坐上境界大，不动恒坚固无边生者种子事业但见一条，会月于肩上绕一切珍贵悲心者其路，人于而成般愿具比例显愿虚空非有情其细相，恒解脱一切世出光弘佛教，即照遍满菩提有基地莲花手持加持甘露，承受我的心愿其如教奉行供养清净一不显妙，大海拯救尽稀有诸佛佛之之家，愿其无况至真谛我以清净真上一乐，祈愿顺利速办诸愿望。
谢谢。
Grand expression that a lot of us know is made by some person and things when achieved of themselves.